Health right now, not only is it the worst flu season the doctors have seen in 15 years, there's also worry now about this quademic. So we wanted to learn more about this. Joining us here is Dr. Brad Hare from Kaiser Permanente in San Francisco. Thanks for being here.
Hi, thank you for having me.
All right, so it's the flu, COVID, RSV, and norovirus all at once.
That's the big four. That's right. They're all circulating right now in our communities and hitting everybody pretty hard.
What about strep? I keep getting a lot of notes about strep.
Strep is always around. Yeah, there's always strep. This time of year when we're in close quarters, we're confined, we're engaging with people at work and school and airports. We're just coming in contact with a lot of things right now. So it's a tough flu season. And as you mentioned, it's the worst flu season we've had in 15 or 20 years. There's just a lot of flu circulating right now.
Is it just this time of year people are stuck inside and they're just sharing germs so much? Like, what is it about right now that's causing it to be the worst it's been?
Yeah, that's part of it. We always see flu peak around this time of year. January, February is when we always see a peak. What's contributing this year specifically? A couple of things. Why it's worse now, particularly for influenza, which is the flu. Why it's worse now is that we haven't seen as much of the flu in the last few years. Some of the things we did to reduce COVID transmission, like masking, social distancing, those kind of things, gave us a very low flu season for the last few years. And this year, it's kind of making up for it. Vaccine rates are a little lower this year than in the past. There's still time for people that have not been vaccinated for flu or COVID to get those. Flu is still on its way up. So if you get vaccinated now, you're still going to be protected for the end of this flu season. So we're trying to get people to take those precautions, to vaccinate, to wash your hands, to cover your mouth when you cough, use your sleeve to cough. If you're in large gatherings, you may want to consider masking if you're somebody who's at higher risk. So we can still do a lot of things to protect ourselves.
What are the treatments that you recommend the most? Because if people are sick, especially with the flu, the people that I know with either norovirus or the flu, like they're knocked out. They're in not good shape. What are you saying? Should they be hydrating? Is there a medication that you like? What's the best way to get better quickly?
Yeah, part of it is just time. So it does take time for these viruses to work through our system. But while you're going through it, definitely rest as much as you need. Listen to your body. Your body's going to tell you what it needs. So if it needs rest, you need to rest. You need to reduce what you're doing, cancel some of those engagements, stay home from work, stay home from school. Rest, hydration is really big. Nutrition is really big too, particularly even if you're not feeling so well, if you've got norovirus, which is the stomach flu. Maybe you don't feel like eating. It's really important to get some nutrition in there to help your body have the energy it needs to fight those things. And then specifically for a couple of viruses, we do have prescription treatments. For influenza, if we catch it within the first 2 days, we can prescribe a medication called oseltamivir. The brand name is Tamiflu, and that can reduce the duration of symptoms. And for COVID, if we catch it within the first 5 days, for people who are very high risk of having severe outcomes from COVID, being hospitalized or dying from COVID, we can give a medication called Paxlovid, or there are some others, to help reduce that risk. It doesn't actually make you feel better faster, but it does reduce your risk of getting sick or ending up in the hospital.
Well, Dr. Hare, we're glad you could join us for this quick chat about these illnesses going around the Bay Area, and we hope that you stay healthy too.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.